ground umbilical to the third stage has been disconnected, and in just a moment the second umbilical tower will separate.
Power on board.
There's the second tower.
Command for ignition, oxygen.
Launch command has been issued. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Engine liftoff.
And there is liftoff of the Soyuz MS-10 to the International Space Station, carrying Nick Hague and Alexei Ovchinin to the orbital complex. This again is Nick Hague's first time to launch to space, and Alexei Ovchinin's second.
Seconds, the emergency, the failure of the booster. 11:42:17 failure. 11:42:17 is the time of the failure. F1 on SP is illuminated. Copy.
The signature in the sky, that's what reminded me almost immediately of Challengers when I saw these discreting sources, and I thought, this is not normal. We didn't know what happened to the crew in this case of the Soyuz launch, but it was clear that something was not right, and this to me was very eerily familiar from what had happened back in 1986.
I looked over and there were about 4 people who were traveling with us that were glued to their phones. And at first initially I thought, oh, they're just checking for updates. But it was when they kept looking at their cell phones and then looking up at each other and looking back at their cell phones and looking back at each other, and I could see the worry and the look in the eyes of pretty much everybody in that room, and I knew almost instantly that something was wrong.
I mean, basically you're riding on a controlled explosion as you're heading uphill for 8 minutes and 45 seconds until you reach preliminary orbit. She's well briefed, obviously, on the what-ifs, all those types of scenarios and the contingencies that could come along with something as dangerous as riding on a rocket to space.
I just held my breath, it seemed like, for about 45 minutes. I really think I held my breath. Because as soon as NASA leadership came back to the back of the bus, which is where we were sitting, and they said, they're on the ground, they knocked on the window and they got a thumbs up, they're good. I just lost it. That was a good moment.
There was the brief moment of realizing, hey, it's not going to happen. But other than, a couple little periods of time, it's, yeah, I got to get back down safe so I can see my family again. And that was enough at that point. I couldn't even think about what came next. Just that, whatever had just been thrown at us, at this moment, we had made it through it, and then we needed to think about what we were going to do following that. There was some definite things that I needed to do to process what just happened. I knew that my boys were going to need to process what happened. I knew that Katie was going to need to process what happened, and we were going to need to do that as a family in order to make it through this event, because it wasn't over when I had her in my arms there at the airport, but I knew that we were on the right path. I didn't start thinking about flying again until I knew that Katie was okay with me flying again until we described to the boys what that meant and got them on the same page.
Nick Hague of NASA, the next one through the hatch.